On Friday, March 13th, at exactly 10:32 a.m., an email was sent from the state of Illinois to practically every vendor they had ever worked with. Illinois was running out of protective gear for their healthcare workers fast, and it was asking if anyone knew where to get more. Minutes later, that email was opened by Jeff Pullen. Jeff lives in Lamont, Illinois, where he runs a company called The Moving Concierge. He can find whoever or whatever it'll take to get the job done. Jeff had never sourced medical supplies before in his life, but drastic times call for drastic measures. To pull this off, Jeff needed to find factories in China. That's where most of the world's protective masks are made. He began to assemble his team. First up, Leon. Leon was his very first boss 28 years ago. Now he was the Brad Pitt to Jeff's George Clooney. He was like, oh, you know who's good? Vincent. He lives in Germany and works in international shipping and logistics. Finally, the last member of the team, Wei Sun, a Chicago expat. Now he's running a shipping company in China. He spends 9 months a year there. He's their man on the ground. The four of them split up and start making calls. The state of Illinois had sent out their email on Friday morning. By noon, Jeff wrote back and said, "We got this." He could deliver 1.5 million masks. The only problem was the factories needed the money up front. $3.5 million has to get to China by tomorrow, or the masks aren't coming. Meanwhile, back in Springfield sat a conflicted bureaucrat, Ellen Andrus. She's the assistant comptroller for the state. She's the one that writes the checks. If anyone has ever needed to follow the routines and procedures, it's her. She was willing to cut the check, but frankly, she didn't know if she could. On the second floor of Ellen's office is a locked door. Behind it sits a massive computer. At 3:30 p.m., that computer begins printing nearly every check for the state, and it doesn't stop until morning. To get the check to China printed in time, they need to shut down the entire payment processing system for the state of Illinois. No one knew what would happen or if it would even work. They decide to try it. For 3 hours, Ellen waits to hear if it worked. It did. Ellen goes to bed, happy she could do her part to save lives in Illinois. Early the next morning, she gets a call. Jeff just found out that his bank is closing early. Now they have to get the check there by 2 p.m. Here's the problem. Jeff and his bank are in Lamont. The town is too small to be listed on this map, but it's right around here. And Ellen and the check are more than 180 miles away, all the way down in the crease of the map, the state capital, Springfield. There's no way he can make it there and back in time. And it'll be a month before Jeff can get them any more masks if they lose this deal. Ellen decides right then and there, to heck with the regular routine. She is going to get that check to him. Between them is a town called Dwight. It's got 2 exits off the freeway. Off of one is a prison, the other has a McDonald's. They both get in their cars and start driving. They meet in the McDonald's parking lot. Jeff shows her his paperwork. She hands off the check. Ellen's next stop, the McDonald's drive-thru. She orders a burger, fries, and Diet Coke. Jeff races to the bank. He gets there with just 20 minutes to spare. One last problem. The money still won't get to China until tomorrow. So Jeff asks a bank employee to take a picture of him with all the wiring forms and sends the picture to his friend in Germany, who sends it to their contact in China, who says, good enough. The masks go into production, and before long, all 1.5 million were delivered. In this pandemic, states and hospitals are all fending for themselves. The regular routine just won't cut it. So the concierges are stepping up.